So we're going to begin in child's pose today, just to open up our back a little bit here. You can start with your knees nice and wide if you prefer to release your chest, your abs. That feels good. Or you can have your knees together if you're feeling any tightness in your low back. It can be really helpful for grounding your seat down, releasing tension here. So your choice, whatever feels good to your body. I teach a little bit more of a somatic type of yoga, so we might be doing some non-traditional yoga moves today, but it's all about helping your body feel better off the mat. So you can choose a couple of variations here in your child's pose. Arms can be out in front of you, or you can sweep them behind you, again, resting your forehead down on the mat, if that's available to you. If you need more support, you can keep your forearms down, bending right at the elbow, and just bow your head. So find your variation to start, and we'll just take a couple of deep belly breaths here. So inhale into your belly, filling your upper back, your lower back. Exhale out your mouth, let it go. We'll take a couple of sighs, really helpful to calm the nervous system. So big breath into your back. Exhale, sigh out your mouth. One more big breath here. Exhale, release. You can start to swivel your hips side to side, maybe bringing to mind some sort of intention for your practice today. For me, I would love to suggest an intention of bringing a little bit more lightness to your body. What I mean by that is both in terms of the energetic sense, how can you feel a little more playful today? Embrace that beginner's mind, get a little uncomfortable, let go of some of that seriousness of work. And then also in terms of the physical sense here, so allowing your body to move lightly, to tread lightly and be gentle, even as we build strength. So take a deep breath in if that intention resonates with you and you bring to your body and your mind what that might feel like. And slowly release on the exhale. Press into your hands, round your body up into cat pose. We're just pausing here, so that's on your knees and your palms, rounding your back body, especially your upper back. Shrug your shoulder blades into your back body, squeezing your belly here, active pose. Slowly release, inhale, dipping your belly down, arching your spine, maybe gazing up, opening up the front of your body, your belly, dipping your heart forwards. Welcome. We're just getting started. Exhale, squeeze your belly, round your shoulders back. Cat pose. Now coming back to our intention today. See if you can ground into your palms here, but imagine pulling your back up towards the sky, lightness in your spine. Exhale, come back to tabletop. Finding a nice neutral spine here, we're going to start to wake up the core. So inhale, extend your right arm in front of you. Exhale, option to extend your toes back. So you can keep your left leg extended behind you, pressing into your toes. This is the most supported version, but still challenge your core here. See if you can prevent yourself from dumping into your left shoulder. That tends to happen, and dumping into your right knee. So see if you can press them away from each other as you squeeze your core, almost like you're digging into your mat. If you want a little bit of more activation, you can float your left leg, keeping your foot flexed here, toes towards the ground. Again, imagine that lightness pulling your body up, even as you root down through your hand and your knee. If you want to add on a little bit more, this is a little bit of a balance challenge here. You can float your right ankle. So you'll notice I started to wobble right away if you're looking at me. Just breathe into your body again, root down through your left hand, up out of your shoulder, if you're following along in this variation. Exhale, melt everything back to your mat. Ooh. Releasing the tension in your left arm and right knee. You can swivel your spine, maybe undulating it up and down. Use your breath and intuition to guide you here. Take another moment just to reset. Big breath into your belly. Exhale out your mouth. Other side. Inhale, extend your left arm out in front of you like you're going to shake someone's hand. Exhale, extend your right toes back. So right leg is as straight as you can. Squeeze your right glute here to support you even further. Again, rooting down through all 5 of your digits in your right hand and up out of your shoulders. You're not sinking into your neck here, you're rising up. If this feels like enough engagement for you on the right side, just hang out here. If you'd like to add on, squeeze into your belly. Again, flat back here, really support your spine through your abdominals. Slowly float your right leg up. See if you can engage your glutes here. So almost like you're pulling a string up from your glutes to lift your leg into the sky. So again, we're doing everything with intention here. Makes it a little bit harder, a little bit slower. Breathe into your body. Exhale out your nose. You can constrict the back of your throat and dry your breath. That feels good. If you want to add on, float your left toes, your left ankle, balancing on your knee, your shin, squeezing your belly even more to support yourself even as you lose balance. Exhale, release. Go ahead and sit back, releasing your arms out in front of you, just taking a breath here. Exhale, plant your hands into your mat. Press your hips up to the sky. Keep your knees bent, downward facing dog. This is a bent knee, downward facing dog. It's a little bit more gentle on your low back. If you want to experiment and play here, you can extend one leg at a time. Maybe pressing into your heels. Just activating the back of your legs here. Now again, you can always modify, so you can bring your knees down to your mat. And just do this in tabletop, maybe extending one leg and then the other. This is your practice, your time. You know your body best. Part of yoga is to turn within, to listen to your body rather than just following an instructor blindly. So if anything doesn't feel good, feel free to modify. Modification doesn't necessarily mean easier. It just means changing the shape. Now take a deep breath, maybe straighten your legs in your downward facing dog if that feels good. Exhale, bend them deeply. Inhale, straighten your legs. Exhale, bend deeply. So you can squeeze your abs as you bend your knees. Inhale, straighten your legs. Exhale, bend your knees deeply. Look towards your hands, step or hop to meet them. Both feet finding the top of your mat. Little forward fold here. If you're feeling tight in the backs of your legs and your back, go ahead and bend your knees generously. Shake your head no, nod it yes. Inhale, halfway lift hands to your shins, flat back, squeeze your elbows towards your shins, towards your thighs, and shrug your shoulder blades down your back. Exhale, flop it out, let it go. So it's almost like we're pulling a rubber band and then releasing it. Inhale, halfway lift, tighten the rubber band, squeeze your core, press your hips back. Exhale, flop it out, let it go. Nod your head yes, shake it no. Really let go of any tension in your shoulders, your back. So you have one more of those. So inhale, flat back, create some tension. Press your palms into your shins. As your palms press towards your hands. Exhale, let it go. Little activations here, just prepping our body. Start to bend your knees even more deeply, stacking your spine, slowly rolling up. Almost like an accordion opening, show your shoulder blades down, lift your hands to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Let's do one more of those. So release bending your knees, slowly, almost moving like liquid. Or if you remember those little like snow globe jello-y things from the 90s. Lift your arms up. Exhale, bend. Last one here, bend your knees, slowly move through. Maybe it's like Flubber with Robin Williams. I've even seen that movie. Raise your arms up and exhale to go. All right, plant your hands into your mat, step back for your plank pose. We got a little bit of a core sequence here. I promise there'll be a break at the end. So finding your plank pose, again, your variation here. So this is not about destroying your body to make some test of will, but rather working with your current state. So you can find a variation of plank pose here, like I am, knees down. It's a very different version from tabletop where your hips are stacked on top of your knees. You'll have much more core activation if you have your hips in front of your knees, shrug your shoulder blades down your back, nice long neck here. Squeeze your belly tight, holding your pelvic floor up and in. Option to stay here, or you can extend your legs behind you. We're going to tap. So if you're finding the bent knee variation, you'll just extend one leg at a time and then the other. If you're finding the full variation, you'll tap both knees down. We got 6 of these. Using your breath, tap 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nice, my child's pose. Oh, my arms are shaking. Take a deep breath in, breathe into your shoulder blades, your serratus, below your rib cage. Exhale out your mouth, side out. Take another deep breath in. Exhale, let it go. Very good. Find your tabletop. One more, like I said, it was a series, so we have a couple more variations. Hang in there. Find your plank variation. Hips can be forward and knees down, as I'm demoing here, or you can be in your full plank. This variation, we're going to lower down to elbows one at a time. See if you can prevent your hips from rocking, and then stack back to your hands. So left elbow down, switch, left hand up, right hand up. Now right elbow down, left elbow down, left hand up, right hand up. Let's do one more of those each side. Again, you can do this in full plank if you want. I'm not feeling it today, so I'm on my knees. So you can, again, come back to our intention, landing lightly here, challenging your core, and hips go back, child's pose. Take a deep breath in, exhale out your mouth. One more big breath. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, come back to your plank pose. More traditional yoga move here, chaturanga. Bending your elbows back by your ribcage, scoop your belly forward. If you're landing in cobra pose, belly to your mat, shrug your shoulder blades away, elbows track back. Lifting your heart up. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Bend your knees deeply for your supported downward dog, or you can extend them here. Let's get off our hands. So bring your feet to touch. Inhale, kick your right leg up to the sky. Exhale, bring your knee to your nose. Option to hold here if you want a little bit of a challenge, or you can step through, finding your little lunge. Take a moment to adjust. We'll all join in a little lunge once you're ready. Big breath in. Tent your palms, rising up onto your fingertips if that's available to you, by pressing down through your right heel. See if you can shift your weight so you're right in between your legs here. So we're not leaning and collapsing into our right side. Big breath in, lift your heart. Exhale, press into your right heel, rise on up. Crescent pose. Big breath in here. Exhale, slightly shift your hips. So you can bring your hands to your hips to help you here. Oftentimes in crescent pose, we tend to have our opposite hip, so your left hip in this case, open. You want to keep your headlights, your hip bones tracking forwards here. So maybe that means shortening your stance a little bit. Bring your hands to your hips. Slowly peeling your left hip so it's closed. Yeah, so instead of open, it's closed, facing the front. Once you find that in your body, squeeze your hips, pressing them forward. You'll find a little bit of a nice stretch here in your hip flexor, grow slightly. Inhale, reach your left arm up. Now exhale, right hand behind you. So slight variation on reverse warrior here. Big breath in. Exhale, let's cartwheel down for revolved half moon. So left hand comes to your mat, right hand stays lifted. Option to stay here if you're not feeling the balance challenge today, or you can slowly, again, using our prep work from the start of class, use your glutes, float your left leg up behind you. Flexing your foot, toes towards the mat. Right hand can float or maybe rest on your hip for more support. Again, just like in crescent pose, we have the tendency now to do the opposite, where your left hip is curved inward. So see if you can float, open your left hip a little bit more here. Exhale, switch hands. Right hand comes to your mat. You want to try for regular half moon. Opening like you're drawing a bow, your left arm up to the sky, opening your top hip. Squeeze your glute here. You'll feel an activation if you're going for this variation. Big breath in, squeeze your core. Exhale, land both feet together. Forward fold. Whew. You are in your crescent pose with your hand down supported. Just bring both feet together. Forward fold. Bend your knees deeply here. Really let it flop. Exhaling out your mouth. Inhale, halfway lift hands to your shins. Let's find our tension. Pressing your palms into your shins. Squeeze your core. Exhale, flop it out. One more of those. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, let it go. Bend your knees. Slowly rise on up, stacking your spine to standing. Show your shoulder blades down. Pause in mountain pose, hands at your sides. Maybe close your eyes. Come back to your intention. This idea of lightness, strength within. Feel how firmly your feet are planted. Shoulder blades drawn down your back. Breathe into your belly. Inhale, flick your eyes open, arms go up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, plant your hands to your mat. Step back for a plank pose. You guessed it. We're back here. We're gonna do 4 taps this time. See if you can challenge yourself to be in full plank. If not, that's okay. You can lower your knees and again, just extend one leg at a time. Let's begin. 4, 3, squeeze your core. 2, 1. You can keep your knees lowered if you want. Bend your right elbow down, left elbow down, left hand up, right hand up. Same number here. Last 2. Again, see if you can keep your hips from rocking super wildly here. And 4, find child's pose. Big breath in, exhale out. Inhale, come forward, finding your modified plank. Exhale, tuck your toes. Option to stay in modified plank, or you can go through a full chaturanga, shifting forward on your tippy toes, bending your elbows to pause, scooping your belly through. And I actually always do cobra pose. If you have a sensitive back, upward facing dog isn't great for your low back. So you can choose to go into that pose if you'd like. I'm going to stay right here, squeezing my shoulder blades down. This is really great for building strength along your back body. You can zip up your legs, squeeze your glutes, maybe float your hands. Exhale, pressing your hands, press back. Downward facing dog. All right, other side with our legs, feet together. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, knee to nose. It's really more knee to chest. You don't actually want to do knee to nose, in fact, because if you do knee to nose, you're just using your upper back here rather than your core. So see if you can bring your knee to your chest, squeezing, and step through. Done a lot of physical therapy after teaching yoga for so many years. And some of the poses don't necessarily help modern bodies. Take a deep breath in, maybe feeling a little bit of a hip flexor stretch here. Press through your left heel, rising up. Nice and strong, squeeze your glutes. Arms up to the sky. Now, same thing here. You're feeling tight in your hip flexor like me, maybe you've been sitting a lot. I was just on a road trip to Tahoe, so I'm feeling it. You can shorten your stance. Or you can really have your hip braces or lights shifting forward, not down, not up, but shifting forward in a parallel line to the floor. Once you arrive, big inhale up with your hands. Exhale, send that reverse, releasing your left hand down. Feeling your right arm up. Exhale, release, revolved half moon. So right hand comes down next to your left foot. Left arm up to the sky or your hip. You can stay here. Or if you want, shift your weight into your left foot. Press, squeezing your glute. Lift your right foot to the sky. Now, I won't actually go all the way up to the sky here. We tend to have a shorter range of motion in revolved half moon because our hips are down, they're not open. But see if you can have your hips, you can even take your left hand and feel around here. Notice where your glutes are. You can have them be parallel as you activate the back of your leg. Again, option to just stay here, maybe opening up your torso a little bit, or you can shift into full half moon. Left hand comes down. Now you crank open your hip. Maybe imagining that you're leaning against the wall behind you, right arm comes out. Exhale, squeeze your belly. Maybe lift your leg, your right leg a little bit higher. If you feel your muscles shaking, that's okay. Just new energy. Micro bend in your left knee. Whenever you fall out of it, just take a little moment to smile. The beautiful lesson in gravity, the power of our bodies. And it's okay. It doesn't mean you failed. It just means your body is spinning. When you're ready, both hands to mat, both feet to mat, forward fold. Big breath in, hands to your shins, flat back. Exhale, stick out your tongue, lion's breath. Do one more of those, really good for releasing. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, stick out your tongue. Maybe flutter your lips, shake your head. Let's find gorilla pose. So walking your hands underneath your feet. If that feels okay. It took me years to actually like this pose, but really great, especially for typing. So I'm walking my palms underneath my soles of my feet, and then massaging my wrists with my toes. Now, if your wrists are feeling a little tight, you can only get your fingers slightly under your feet, that's okay. Different variation, you just wrap your hands around your shin bones, finding more of a forward fold. Relax your head and neck down, gazing behind you. That feels really good in your neck. You can even interlace your hands, taking a little rest here behind the base of your spine, your skull. Applying just a little bit of pressure. And exhale, let it go. Last one to rise. Slowly stack your spine, taking your time here. Just noticing if there's anything different in your body since we started. Draw your shoulder blades away. Opening your arms up to the sky. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Inhale, put your hands back up. Exhale, forward fold. Now, if you don't have sensitive knees, you can heel toe your feet to the edges of your mat. Finding Malasana, a little yoga squat. Sitting back. Now, if you do have sensitive knees, like me, you can find, or if you want just more of an active squat, you can rest your elbows on tops of your thighs, trying to actually engage your core and your glutes a little bit more, lifting your chest. Then exhale, look down. Find a seat. Everybody find a seat. And slowly migrate into our cool down, so to speak. Arms out in front of you, shrug your shoulders away. You can just flop onto your back if you prefer. Or if you want a last little bit of core activation, slowly taking your time, melt to the floor. Once you arrive, hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a big squeeze, maybe wrapping your arms around your shin bones. Head comes up. Exhale, let it go. Little spinal twist. I like to do what I call goalpost arms. So you can open up your elbows, bending at your elbows. Or you can do a T shape with your arms extended. Simple twist here. Exhale, flop your knees over towards your right. If you want to find eagle legs, crossing your knees, you can do so. Or maybe you extend your bottom leg out long. Find your favorite twist. Gaze in the opposite direction. Maybe right hand rests on top of your left thigh. Close your eyes. Big breath in. Deep exhale out. One more big breath in. Fill your belly. Exhale out your mouth. Release your hands, squeezing your belly, flop your knees over towards your left. You might have to scoot your hips if you're near a wall like me. And gaze over your right shoulder. Find the same variation you found on the other side. Close your eyes. Big breath in. Deep exhale out. Inhale, ring out your organs with your breath. Exhale, squeeze to release. One more big inhale. Exhale, float your knees back to center. Maybe give them one more big hug. And if you have extra time today, you're gonna flap your legs out long, finding Shavasana, corpse pose, for a final little meditation. Since this is our more active class, I won't be doing a full guided meditation today, but in our next class, I'll be having my sound bowls out. We'll breathe together. So let's just close with a couple of deep breaths. You can breathe into your belly, feeling it rise as high as it can towards the ceiling. Again, that lightness with our intention today. And exhale, let it ground down into your body. Just take a moment, maybe pancaking your hands over your heart. Showing gratitude for yourself for showing up, which is the hardest part. And when you're ready, you can roll over to one side, making an intention to take whatever resonated with you into the rest of your day and leave behind anything that you are ready to let go of. And slowly make your way up into the seat. And exhale, let it go. Thank you for coming. Namaste.